Awakening Brave Hearts. Hi, I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf, and welcome to the Doc of Detox World Healing and Training Center. Today's one-a-day is not going to be that long, but it's a very important topic, and the topic is going to be just this. Men, your job starts not when you get to the, okay, one second, let me start again. Okay, I'm having a brain fart. So here it is. This is the one-a-day. Men, your job starts when you get home. Okay, your job does not end when you get to your front door. That's when your job truly starts, okay? I'll tell you something, and don't say that it's not true, but men, we've been conditioned that guess what? Hey, come on, I paid the mortgage. I'm the one that made the money for the food. I'm the one that is paying for the kids to get through school. You know, everybody's programmed. You do know that, right? Everybody's programmed. Whether you're a man or a woman, they've got special programs for all of us. Whether you're a child or a teenager, they got special programs for all of us. It's always been about the programming, isn't it? And how many men actually believe that their job ends when they get to the front door of their house? I've done my job. This is what's wrong with families. And yeah, I just really love this part. Family comes first. You know what? What is that? Something you read out of a fortune cookie? Are you like out of your skull? You know, let me just put it this way. It's in your actions, not in your words. Oh, I love my family so much. What? What do you feed off of them, suck off of them, or what? If you love your family, then you're going to love, honor, and respect and protect them. That means that you're going to make that home a love zone. That means that you're going to make that home a health zone. That means that you are going to have unconditional love in that house. But understand, how many men even know what unconditional love is? You know, this whole family thing is a disaster because it's so easy to program people. I mean, even in a family, when somebody gets cancer, everybody just loses themselves, okay? And guess what? That person who gets sick, they eventually go through radiation, chemo, and surgery. Nobody knows how to eat right, think right, drink right. No one knows how to stay calm, okay? And where are the men? I want to know where the men are, because the reality is because, you know, where is their love for their family? Where is that holding that Braveheart line? Where is that you are going to love your family enough to get rid of your addictions? You're going to love your family enough to be present in the present moment. Where is it that, you know, the one thing that I started when my kids were growing up is I always made sure, okay, that I talked to them. And I let them know that they could tell me anything that they wanted and I would not get angry at them, okay? Because that's the way it's got to be. You know, the father's not supposed to be the enforcer. The father should be the enforcer of unconditional love and protecting his children, his wife, his partner. That's what should be going on, and that's not what's going on. I don't even know where the men are today, so please. And I'm not trying to put you down, men, because you've been programmed and you don't even know. And if all the men are acting the same, then guess what? Then it must be just right. But I think that if you really sat back, which I do, I get up every morning, I contemplate, I meditate. I was up this morning at 5 o'clock just thinking about things. And I was thinking about how they, the others, the system, the corporations, the government, the medical system, every bloody system out there, okay, are out for blood. They hurt us. They make us sick because that's how they live off of us. And then they want us gone. But they don't want us gone until they've sucked all the money out of us and they've suppressed and put a chokehold on our spirit. And the reality is I want to know where the men are and where their Braveheart roar is. And understand something, men. Your job is not over when you hit the front door of your house. Kick back on the couch, get me a beer, or whatever you decide you want to do. Go out to your garage and play with your little tool set. The reality is this, If you decide that you want to get married, if you decide that you want to partner up, if you decide you want to have children, then take responsibility for them. Because understand something, okay? School is nothing but a toxic babysitter for our kids. You didn't notice that? Well, you should have noticed it. Because when you got out of school, whether it was grade 12 or 13, okay, you didn't know how to eat, think, or drink, or love yourself, or love another human being, less have a child, and then raise that child. My God, we don't raise children, do we? You know, most of us are so frustrated with our children because we haven't been giving any tools or strategies. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, why don't you find me a family that has harmony and balance and unconditional love for each other? Let me just tell you something. There is more pain and suffering that happens in the home than outside the house, okay? And that's because we've all been programmed. So I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm trying to tell you that, you know what? Do you really know what love is? Well, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Are you a danger? Maybe you're not a danger, but do you know what real love is? It's unconditional love for yourself first and foremost. It's sitting down and not getting angry at your children or your partner, but, you know, sitting down and talking about things and telling your family what you would like to see. But if you can't give what you're not, so if you don't know how to love and care for yourself, well, good luck loving and caring for everyone else, because you can't give what you're not. And do you know how important that statement is? You can't give what you're not. And you can believe it or not believe it. But with all the people that I have coming in my life, you know, this year I'm doing 40 certifications around the world. I'm going to go through that at the end. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to tell you something. I have taught tens of thousands of people to become whole life coaches, to become Wolf non-surgical therapists. And I've gone and done Braveheart circles all around the world for the average person so they can find themselves and understand something. Nobody has a chance. You do not have a chance. If you actually think that you've learned from a book, or that you think that you're rocking your world, I can tell you, you're comparing yourself to everyone else that's so dysfunctional that you think you're doing good, okay? And the reality is this, I'm telling you from experience. This year alone, okay, this year alone, I did 12 whole life coach certifications. So even if I'm as dumb as a stump, which I'm not, okay, I've been doing whole life coach certifications for people since I was 27 years old. And I'm going to tell you something, that emotionally, people are so messed up, man, that you have no idea. You have no idea. And you know what? Men are the most messed up. Adult men are the most messed up of all the people that I know. Yes, that's true. You know, I say to people, which is not going to happen, I go, but you know what? The world would be a better place if adults didn't have to bring children into the world, and it was teenagers at least. At least they're still flexible, and they're not so toxic in their thinking. Every time that somebody comes to me with their child, and the child is either sick or the child is a teenager and they're rebelling, do you know who actually needs the treatment and the training? It's always the parents. It's always the parents. Now, I'm not saying that parents are wrong, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. You already know that you don't know anything about health. You don't know. Like, okay, so I get a call here from one of my master trainers, and she says that this lady has a baby, okay, and the baby has a fever for 4 days. Well, I hope you know that if every mother and father was taught to give the baby a warm water enema. Oh yeah, I know it's just an infant, but it doesn't matter. You just need to do a few ounces. And if the mother and the father were to know that guess what? You do know that 95 to 98% of all the sicknesses that a baby has and young children have and teenagers can all be fixed with a warm water enema with tummy love. And you do know that they would never ever have these problems if you knew how to feed them in the first place, but you don't even know how to feed yourself. And the reality is this: you can go to school for 12 years, you can go to school for 20 years, or you could become a medical doctor, and you're still not going to know what good eating is. You're not going to know what detoxification is. You're not going to know what loving yourself means, or respecting yourself, or honoring yourself. So guess what? I get it. The whole thing is rigged. They're rigged. And understand something. Everybody on this planet is a spirit being. And that's what keeps me hanging on. That's what keeps me wanting to go and do this world tour and do 40 certifications this year all around the world. Because guess what? And that's the way it is. I get it. It's planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure if you don't bend the rules, okay, all right, or break the rules. You get rid of them. You totally get rid of all the rules. I want none of the rules that healthcare has to offer, none. I want none of the rules that the government has to offer. I want none of the rules that the police have to offer. I want none of the rules that the military has to offer, because they're all owned by these psychos. And the reality is I don't need any rules. If I have unconditional love for myself, how am I going to speed down the road? If I have unconditional love for myself, am I going to try to risk my life for someone else's? If I have unconditional love for myself and I truly am a loving being, then why would I attack somebody? Because if I'm a loving being, I'm going to understand something. If I have unconditional love for myself, that everybody else pretty well, maybe 1 out of 10,000 people have unconditional love for themselves. And you better take that to the bank, because I'm absolutely right and I can prove it. The other 9,999 have conditional love for themselves, and they have conditional loves for their family. They have conditional loves for their partners. They have conditional love for their children, and they have conditional love for the world. And guess what? We're screwed. We're screwed. But I'm not screwed, because I know that this is planet Earth and the rules are never going to change. That the psycho elite are always going to hold the purse strings, and they're always going to be trying to condition us on poverty level with everything. About the way we should think about the creator of everything, okay? That it judges us and that we're failures or we're sinners, okay? All right? Or that money's hard to make and poverty consciousness is just running rampant everywhere, okay? All right? Oh, and by the way, we don't know how to actually harness and master our emotions. Let me see if you can get through this holiday season without reacting and attacking yourself, okay, by drinking too much or eating too many shortbread cookies or making yourself sick because you're overeating because you're trying to suppress your emotions. Let me see if you can do that. Let's see if the person that pisses you off all the time, but because it's Christmas and we're all coming together and it's all about family, right? Oh, really? Really? It's all about family? It's not like you have to choke things down because you don't get along with someone. But the reality is this. Try to be on your good behavior and see if you can do the Lionheart breath, put a slight smile on your face, and don't judge. Just observe, okay? And just mind your own business and take all that energy and just keep recycling it back into yourself and see if you can get through Christmas and come into the new year without a flu or a cold or COVID, okay, so that we can all get our pants pulled down so we can take our diapers off and put them on our face again for a few months. And then let's see if we have enough honor, respect for ourselves, and maybe even look up the definition of a virus and find out that it's dead and you can't pass it on. Let's just do that. Or let's do some real homework and find out that, guess what? You know what they're doing right now? Okay, does anybody know? Did you get your flu vaccine? Well, I'm not saying in every country, but just know this, the flu vaccine now has the COVID V in it. Did you know that? Not one, not two, but they say that they've got 3. So you get a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am situation going on here. So the reality is this, okay? What if we unconditionally loved ourselves? What if we actually took a look at people and we knew that people weren't actually their personality? What if we actually realized that most people are just ready to blow all the time, so when they blow, it's got nothing to do with you. You were just in front of the volcano when it was 3:15, it was time to blow. Because everybody has a personality, and in reality, people don't understand that their personality is not theirs, because from 0 to 7, You were programmed by mommy and daddy and every bloody system out there that is trying to tell you that they know better. I will never join an organization. I will never ever create my own. I will never ever create some kind of system or control. I will never be part of any type of religion. I will not be any part of any group. I will be my authentic self. I will be right here. I will be a leader for myself and a leader for those who want to be leaders. I don't want followers. I do not want followers. And the reality is, I get it, guys. Fear is their weapon, okay? And they're just going to keep on dispensing it. You know, the more fear they bring out, I go, oh, you're boring me, okay? I just want everybody to understand something. It's like this. I'm not going to live on this planet and never have fear. I will never have fear. I have practiced that for the last 20 years, okay? And I'm telling everybody, and every system out there that thinks that they can control Daryl Wolf, that it's never going to happen. You are never going to tell me what to do. You're never going to tell me what to drink, what to think, where to go. You're never going to tell me how to run my business. You're never going to tell me, okay, all right, that unconditional love is not the way, because it is the way. You know, it's the craziest thing. You know, people talk about religion, they talk about God, they talk about source, but actually, if you actually had your head together, you would know that that which we call source would be unconditional love. And you'd also know that that which we call source isn't going to always be coming here to save us. That, guess what? It takes two. And it takes massive personal action to change. It takes massive personal action to actually get to a point of unconditional love. And for you men, it's going to take massive personal action because you've been taught to suppress your emotions, okay? All right? And your job is just to go to work, and as long as you can pay the bills and make sure there's food on the table, you've done your job. Well, guess what? That makes you a slob. Because the reality is that your job only starts when you get to the door of your house. When you get into that house, you are going to become a Braveheart hero, and you're going to show everyone in that home unconditional love. You're going to listen to the stories. You're going to have not your children fearing you, not your wife fearing you, but having courage to be able to tell you where something's gone wrong or where they might have let you down, but no. You're going to tell them, you didn't let me down. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. You know, one of my daughters came home, and she was 18 years old, and she said, Dad, you know, when I went to this rave, and don't worry, you don't know my daughter, and you don't know her name, so I'm going to tell the story. And she said, Dad, I don't know what happened, but you know what, I went to this rave, I did too much drugs, and I went unconscious, and I don't know what's going on, if maybe I was sexually abused or what. And I said, did you wake up with your pants on? And she was crying, and I said, well, guess what? If you woke up with your pants on, then chances are it didn't happen. I said, chill out, honey, chill out, and understand something. Learn to love and respect yourself. This time you got off easy. Next time you may not. Now, I could have just said, you dumb, blah, 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 you blah, blah, you slut, you who are you, which people do. Men do that because we're taught to beat up on women, aren't we? But I didn't do any of that. And then guess what? My other daughter, guess what? Took my brand new car, and I know she went out partying, and guess what? She's driving home, and it's a sunny day, and guess what? She runs right into a parked car and writes the car off. First thing I said to her is, honey, are you okay? She said, yeah. I said, how did it happen? At least she didn't lie to me. I went to pick up my sunglasses because the sun was in my eyes, and I guarantee it wasn't about that. It was probably adjusting the radio or something like that. And so I'm not looking to try to make her into a liar, but what did I say? I said, honey, I'm glad that you're okay, but just know this. You're not going to drive any more of my cars, not because it's a punishment. I'm not going to let you drive one of my cars and kill yourself because I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And I'm glad that you're okay, but let me know when you need a ride because you're not going to be taking my keys to my car, well, my next car. The reality is I need everybody to start thinking a little different in the new year. Let yourself off the hook, okay, all right? Let yourself off the hook for things and let your children off and your partner off the hook, okay? Stop holding grudges. Stop finding something to hate. Let me tell you something. If we could remove the word hate, and stop finding something to hate, okay? They want us to hate some color, some nationality, some religion. They want us to hate something. If we were to get rid of all the religions on this planet would be freed up, hallelujah. There you go, hallelujah. If we could get rid of every religion. If we just had unconditional love, that's all we need. That's all we need is unconditional love. You know that, don't you? Oh no, we need to follow the rules of fools. You know, it's so crazy. You know, there are like thousands and thousands of religions. And I mean, I know there is, okay? All right? Because my father was a born-again Christian pastor, carpenter, and guess what? When I went away from the Christianity thing, I went into Buddhism, and then I looked at Judaism, and then I looked at all the isms. And you know, I was searching, trying to discover. And then one day I realized something. It's unconditional love. It's not an ism. It's unconditional love. That's the real thing. It's I am love. I am love. So all I'm trying to say here is this, could we just do something when it's really quiet, if there's some quiet period here through the holidays? Could you take a look at your main core beliefs that actually master and control your day and control you, and take a look at what is really going on and what is really controlling you or causing you to become a volcano like every 3 days or every 3 weeks? Or why do you have the habits you do? Why do you do the things you do? Why do you act like you do? And understand something. What if you all sat down like a loving family and said, listen, we should only be working towards one thing, and that's unconditional love. That's all we need to work towards. What if we could actually talk to each other openly without trying to hurt each other, but just really trying to mirror things for each other so that we could grow together, so that we could grow stronger as a family? I just love this. Family's everything. Families, are you like out of your skull? You know what? Do you know how many family interventions that I do in a year? I usually do about 300 to 400 a year. Okay, and that's without advertising it. And I'm going to tell you right now, most families are so messed up. There's always a black sheep, okay? There's always the hero. There's always the victim. What if we stop labeling things? What if we just started working with each other to help get rid of our weaknesses and improve on our strengths and be a collective that we would call a family? And you do know that, you know, corporations will get us to buy into the thing that we are family. Are you like out of your skull? You know, until you totally unconditionally love, protect, and respect yourself first, you can't do that for others. And I will never ever listen to anything a corporation has to say. There is no corporation out there. Remember something, all corporations are owned by the psycho elite. Anything that has been really good, that starts off pure and is good for the people, okay, if it becomes popular, it gets bought up and corrupted. Bought up and corrupted. Okay, so you need to understand that. And it's the funniest thing, you know, when I was younger, okay, I used to put all my diplomas on the walls, and I just got some more certificates today. And I said, they're not going up. There's nothing going up. There was nothing going up because people come to me for me, not for what I have hanging on the wall. But what I'm trying to say here is you know the thing that people say to you until you become powerful and standing in your own power when you're a natural health practitioner? Well, are you accredited by some government system? Have you gone to school from a government-approved school, Dr. Wolf? No, I haven't. How do you think I talk like this? How do you think I'm my own person? I mean, the longer that you go to school, the more dangerous you are. I mean, I'm going to tell you something right now. The longer that you go to school, if you go to college, you go to university, the longer you go, the more programmed you are. Tell me, oh yeah, oh, he's so smart. What, he's so smart because he's got a ton of information in his brain? Oh no, being smart means you're logical. Being smart means that you have unconditional love for yourself and everyone else. Being smart means that you don't give up your passion, you don't give up your dreams, You get your passion back. Whatever you love, you don't ask anybody else what they think about it. You go and you do that, you work on that, you become that, and then you gift the world with that. Let me tell you something. If you want different in this world, don't ask anybody what they think about what you're doing if it's different, because they're going to tell you don't do it. And then those people that are scared to do what you're going to do, because guess what? You got to risk a little. If you don't risk a little, then you're not living at all. If you don't risk a little, if it doesn't scare you a little, but excite you a lot, then what are you doing? Everything I do, it has to excite me and scare me a little, or else, guess what? It's not called an adventure. But I'm not going to risk my life or endanger myself. The reality is this: what crazy guy would ever say he's going to do a world tour and do over 40 certifications in 1 year, okay? And then I only plotted this out 2 months ago. That's 8 weeks ago. You know what? It's like this. Wow, think of the faith you have to have. Think about how much faith you have in yourself, and you'll know, because guess what? You won't risk anything. You'll just stay safe in the corner here. Okay, and guess what? You won't live the life that you've wanted. Get excited. Get excited about your life. And let me tell you something too. Around this time of year, everybody's going into the memory thing. Oh, the memories. Oh, all the memories. You know what? Stop with the memories. Start making new memories. Start telling a new story. Start becoming something new. What if you were to change 1% today, 1% tomorrow, and you did that for 100 days? Well, after that, you're going to have a new personality, aren't you? Okay, and it's the same thing. I don't care what disease you have, what's going on in your life, what your relationships are like. If you're not willing to change, nothing's going to change. So you go ahead and you allow your subconscious, that is the most stubborn thing in your life, and your subconscious is 90% of your brain. That's why the majority of the population is only in the present moment, 2 to 5%, and that's why nobody does anything new. That's why everybody thinks the same, so nobody's thinking anymore. There's no critical thinking. There's no logical thinking. But guess what? I love the planet, and I'm going to love everyone to the best of my ability. I will not hate one person on this planet. I can dislike a person's belief, but I am not going to hate that person for it. Because you need to understand something. When you're going around hating people, just remember something. That person, okay, ended up in that family that went to that church or went through that system, and that's why they have the beliefs they do. And if that person hates you for your beliefs, love them anyway. Because guess what? What do we do on this planet? Well, if it doesn't match our beliefs, we hate it. If it doesn't match our beliefs, we don't like it. Or we just shun it right away. And the reality is, if it's not different, then your life is never going to be different. You're never going to change. You're never going to have what you want. So you just keep on telling yourself that money's hard to make, okay? Nobody loves you, okay? You've got this rare disease that only 1 out of 10 million people actually get diagnosed with. You tell yourself any line of BS that you want, belief system, because that's what it is, and guess what? You will be left a victim for the rest of your life. Look, I know how difficult it can be, you know? This morning I was supposed to go and do a whole bunch of video shoots. I leave, I come out, and guess what? Most people do not care for themselves enough to care for what they're doing with their work or their job. And that's the problem. So I spent like 2.5 hours trying to herd the cats, lovingly trying to get people to understand, why don't you put your heart into it? Why don't you get passionate about it? It's going to be very difficult. Most of the people that work for me do not eat right. Okay, they do not eat right. They do not live right. Okay, the whole world is now allowed to smoke dope every day and a few times a day. And guess what? To have a glass of wine every day, you're not an alcoholic, but you are. And then nobody ever thinks about the glass of wine that has 147 cancer-causing chemicals in it, because they all do, unless it's organic. And the reality is guess what? They have given us so many things to poison ourselves and our family that we just think that it's normal. So understand something. When your kids are acting up this Christmas, they're not acting up. They're sugaring up. They're poisoned up. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Oh, you've been so good. Mommy's going to give you a treat. Here's a ton of sugar. You're going to be bouncing off the walls, and in a few minutes, we're going to send you to your room. Because Mommy and Daddy are druggies, okay? Mommy and Daddy are on prescription drugs. Mommy and Daddy have to drink alcohol just to be with each other, at least one drink a day, okay? And as far as eating, you know, most of the foods that Mommy and Daddy feed themselves and their children are inflammatory, so everybody's got digestive problems, they got bowel problems, and then they just go on from there. And then when we do sit down at the table, is it a loving place where we're talking about how we can support each other? Or is it the only place that we can corral our children or our partners to try to get them to do what we want them to do? Don't give me the family thing. Give me the love thing. Give me the unconditional love thing this year. And men, guess what? Think about this. Your job starts when you get to the front door of your house at the end of the day. That's your real job. That's the one you should have passion and purpose for. That's the one that you should go in there and hug everyone and then talk to everyone. What was your up today? What was your low today? What can I do for you? I want you to know that you can say anything to me. You can talk to me. Yes, I'm your father. Yes, I'm your husband. But understand something. I'm also the protector, the respecter, and I will honor who you are. And let's grow together. Why don't we do that? Why don't we give it a shot? I want you to think about these things this Christmas, or these holidays, or this Hanukkah, or whatever you want to call it. We all have to be so politically correct, right? Let's just divide and conquer. That's what happens. Divide and conquer, all right? And that's what's going on. Whether you want to believe this or not, okay? The reason why there's so many different languages is to divide and conquer. The reason why there's so many different religions is to divide and conquer. The reason why we have so many different belief systems on this planet is to divide and conquer us, okay? It's amazing that maybe a couple 100,000 of these psycho people can come together and actually hogtie 8 billion people, all right? I want you to think about that. But the one thing I want you to do, though, the main thing is keep a slight smile on your face, stay connected to your breath, and just tell yourself that you will love, honor, and respect and protect yourself, and that you will become unconditional love so that you will not be hard on yourself or your family or your friends or the world anymore. What if you could get through your day without hating someone? Without having these negative vibrational feelings that drain and suck the energy right out of you. This is what they want. Ruled, schooled, and fooled, sweetheart. Ruled, schooled, and fooled. All right, let me just walk through a couple things here. Can you change it, please? It's not changing. Okay, all right. So take a look, everyone. I just want to go through this because I deal with a lot of phone calls every day. And so I've told a lot of people in the last few days I'll do this because I haven't done it this week. So we have one more course here in Ixtapa, Mexico, a New World Practitioner course from February 26th to the 27th. That is a whole life coach and a New World Practitioner. That's half full right now. The January one's completely full. And then right after that, we will be having a pain-free pelvic restoration course for women. That's 3 days. Okay, and then I'm off to Stewart, Florida, okay? And then after that, Glastonbury, UK has now been moved, everyone, okay, to August. So I will be doing that in August now, and I'm moving it. But I will be going to McKinney, Texas, for the New World Practitioner training, plus we'll have a pain-free pelvic one there. With every New World Practitioner course, there will be a whole life coach certification, a Wolf non-surgical certification, bodywork certification, and there'll be a Braveheart Circle for the majority of the population that want to come in and change their life, like I've been just talking about right now. A Braveheart Circle has anywhere from 12 to 16 people, where we go around in a circle, we work on things like, we do a heart release, a Wolf non-surgical heart release. We'll work on different parts of your body during that 7 days. We'll also go in and take a look at your emotional belief systems. We'll take a look at your nutritional belief systems, your physical ones, and you'll hear from all the other people in the circle. And what we do is we come together that at the end of that 7 days, you want to find your authentic true self. Okay, you can take it or leave it, but if you don't want to come and do a Braveheart Circle with me or a whole life coach certification, okay, a Braveheart Circle is more for the general public. If you do a Braveheart Circle, you have my guarantee, I'll change your life for the rest of your life. And the reality is this, wouldn't it be great if we could lovingly go in and get rid of all the belief systems that these psychos have given you? My God. You know, even when you get sick, you think you're supposed to go to a medical doctor. Are you like sick? That's how sick it is. That's a sick belief. You know, when you get sick, that's your body telling you that you're toxic. You do know that, right? Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just the poisons that have come in on an emotional level and a nutritional level, and you don't realize it because everybody's doing it. And that's it. And the reason why you have that certain sickness going on in your body is because you have this dysfunctional belief, and this one. And when we take these three and put them together, okay, then we're going to get a certain frequency, a negative frequency, that is going to unleash the domino effect of not just emotional chaos, but physical, biological chaos in your body. That is the truth about health. And if a doctor or a practitioner doesn't understand that, then they shouldn't even be practicing. They shouldn't even be practicing because that's all they're doing is practicing. They're not sure what they're doing. I'm serious. So I would really take a look at the Braveheart Circle. And that will be in all these countries with the Braveheart Circle. And I'll be doing Barrie, Ontario, Chicago, Calgary, Coffs Harbour, Australia, Croatia, Long Island, New York, okay? And during this time, this is why I want to prove to you, I am not a superhuman. I am, okay, I am a spirit being though. That's why I can do, and when I say this, it's not bragging, it's everybody should be doing this, but I can do 6 times more than any of my staff. 6 times more. I can juggle 15 to 20 things and still, because I know how to stay connected to my breath, stay in the present moment and own it, and not get emotional about it. You know, people come on, is he mad? Is Dr. Wolf mad? No, I'm roaring. This is what I do. I roar. Why do I roar? Because you deserve more. Why? Because I want to crack your coconut open so you can drink the sweet juice of authenticity, your true self. That's the only thing that matters. If you have any questions, you can call me at direct. You can call me direct if you're in Canada or the United States at 469-861-9454. I will call you back. We'll have a chat. Let's chat and understand something. I am no better than you or anybody else. I am no smarter than you or anybody else. I just have different beliefs. What happens if we've been given stupid, toxic, harmful beliefs? Well, that's what we become. What happens if you've really worked hard on loving and caring for yourself and observing yourself without judging yourself? Well, then you can go in and you can replace those negative, energy-draining beliefs with, guess what? Supercharged beliefs, because it's okay. Unleash the chokehold on yourself. Let anybody think about you the way they want, because they're going to. But you love, honor, and respect yourself. And you get rid of every guilty thing that religion or family or the world has told you that you've done and what you are. It's none of their business. And you need to take a look at this and know that today is the only day that matters. And in this day, the only thing that matters is the moment. And you unconditionally love yourself and go ahead. You have the right to do that, or you have the right, if you want, you go ahead and do this too. Go beat yourself up like the world wants you to do. Because guess what? Your family, excuse me, your family and your friends are programmed to judge you. Yeah, really? No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. That's how unconscious you are. Your family, your friends, the world is there to judge you, okay? How does it feel to be judged? Well, I really don't care. People can judge me all they want, okay? They can judge me until the cows come home, okay? Because it's utter nonsense. I'm not going to let anybody judge me. because I'll observe myself with unconditional love, and if I can grow, I'm going to do it. I don't want to keep anything that is not me. If I'm attacking someone or attacking myself, that's not me. That's something I picked up from 0 to 7 or even in my mother's womb. And I'm not going to judge my parents. They did the best they could, but I am going to what? Lovingly see that belief float down the river of no return. Is it okay that I totally love, honor, and respect myself? And is it okay too that I'm not going to buy into the sinner game? Is it okay that I don't buy into the failure game, even though I might fail 100 times today? Well, I really don't care. I don't need your approval. I just know that I can not be successful if I allow others who judge me, okay, to be my judge and jury. It's not going to happen. And I want you to think about this, because I'm not trying to get in your face. I'm trying to tell you something. Face the fact that you are beautiful. Face the fact that you are a spirit being. Face the fact that the game is rigged. Face the fact that your parents didn't know better. Face the fact that your partner doesn't know better, that you may not know better, that your friends don't know better, and society's never going to know better. Because guess what? Everybody wants to fix the government that's not broken. You know what I mean? It's like this, okay? How can you make like mercury to be non-toxic? Well, you can't. It's toxic, okay? That's what it is, okay? How can you make the medical system love, honor, and respect people and actually give them what they deserve? You can't. They're not going to. Because every doctor, every nurse that went out there that wanted to help and heal, they don't realize it. But what was the family that started the AMA? Who was the family? The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Why don't you go and see their agenda? Okay, I did Medical Mafia, and I also did I'm Gonna Rock Your World. Go on my YouTube and watch I'm Gonna Rock Your World. I did a quote from Rockefeller that's about 15 minutes long, how he tells how he wants to poison us. Rafa, I'm gonna play that this afternoon. I want you to get in touch with Drake right now, and I want this afternoon, I'm Gonna Rock Your World to come on today at 4 o'clock Central Time. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna put it on today. Why don't you go and find out who designed the medical system? Go watch that today. And you go watch Medical Mafia in my library as well. Let's wake up, please. Wake up. This isn't a fairy tale. This isn't a fairy tale. This is your life, and guess what? You need to become the hero of it at every given moment. All right, so just so you know, we've got our stocking stuffer sale. There, that's good. That's over. My first lectures that I'm going to be doing when I leave here from doing the course in February, I'll be in Stuart, Florida, and I'll be at the Flagler Center. This is a free lecture, everyone, okay? It'll be March the 2nd at 6 p.m., and in 3 hours, I am gonna rock their world. First, it's gonna be about emotional intelligence and how to even claim it, okay? And then it's gonna be say no more to pain, strains, and drugs, canes, walkers, wheelchairs. For God's sakes, how old are you? How old are you? Now, I want you to go back to when you were younger as a toddler, what you can remember. You've never seen so many canes. You've never seen so many walkers. You've never seen so many wheelchairs. And you've never heard of so many diseases, have you? So guess what? There are no diseases, okay? They're just us being out of harmony with unconditional love and respect for ourselves. All right, so anyways, I will be lecturing in London. There'll be 2 lectures. I'll be lecturing almost in every country I go to, every city I go to. London's lectures will be happening 6 weeks prior. I think, I haven't got the exact dates, but I think that we'll be lecturing in London and also Birmingham. And that will be 6 weeks prior to us doing the New World Practitioner course there and also the pelvic course, okay? This is the courses we're going to be teaching everyone. If you go to nwpworldtour.com, You can find the lectures I'm going to be doing for free, and you can find the courses. New World Practitioner course is made up of Whole Life Coach, Wolf Non-Surgical. The Braveheart Healing Circle is for lay people that say, you know what, I've had enough. I want to find my authentic self. I want to become my own practitioner. I want to take my life back. And I know that if I can change my personality, okay, I can change my reality. I'm going to change my frequencies. I'm going to heal my body. And that's how that works. Okay? And then I'll also be doing pelvic restoration and disease prevention. That's for women. It's a 3-day course. It's the Holy Grail for women. It's the Holy Grail. You take that course, nobody's going to mess around with you. Nobody's going to take you to the chop shop. Nobody's going to go and radiate you, chemo you. You're going to understand that your pelvis is the Holy Grail of everything, and they're after it. If they can go and screw up your pelvis, you won't get pregnant. You will not have a joyful life. And you need to understand something. That which everyone does not want to understand, that runs the government, runs the medical system, and every other system out there that's toxic like this, okay, is living off of your hurt, pain, and suffering. And this is how they get off. They get off by your children and you suffering. Can I please? All right, so if you want, you can take a picture of that, or you can stop the video later. This is where you're going to see us and on our tour. See, the tour doesn't end. All right, this is a little bit about the Braveheart Circle, and we've already talked about that. That's the Whole Life Coach. It's 9 days. And understand something when I say this, okay? Do you know how many people come and say that they've taken a Whole Life Coach certification online or somewhere else? And I got to tell you something. The doctors, the chiropractors, the nurses, the psychologists, the psychiatrists that have come and taken my course over the last 35 years, come and take my course and tell me that you've taken a course like this before. All right, the non-surgical, it's the most powerful body work in the world. How many other people will teach their therapists and say, give a money-back guarantee on the first treatment because we know that we can be more successful in one treatment than everything else they've ever done. Understand, it's all about scar tissue calcification and crystallization. If you want to stay young and you want to stay healthy, then keep the calcium in your bones. Don't allow the scar tissue to build up. And that's what they want to do. Everything is about poisoning you on an emotional and physical level to create enough infection, to create enough inflammation, to create enough scar tissue formation that you become a cripple. But remember, you got to be crippled on an emotional level before you're crippled on a physical level. I have no diseases. I have no illnesses. Okay? Most of my family is not well either, like everybody else's family. But I'm perfectly well. And I'm never going to hell. Because guess what? Hell and heaven are created by me on my thoughts, on my actions, and how I'm going to treat myself. Okay? Where everybody else is mistreating themselves. Not everyone, most. This is where the Braveheart Healing Circles are going to take place. Okay? This is the New World Practitioner host. If you want to get in touch with any of our hosts anywhere around the world, you'll take a screenshot of this. You can get in touch with our hosts and they'll tell you what we've got planned. All right? Ladies, 3 days, pain-free pelvic course. We're going to be doing 2 of them live, and we're going to be doing them 2 on Zoom during January and February. So if you, February, early February, okay, live in Ixtapa, February 2nd to the 4th, and then a Zoom training. Anybody from around the world, okay, anybody from around the world can go on the Zoom training, pelvic restoration training from the 10th to the 12th. Then we'll do another live one in Ixtapa from March 1st to the 3rd, and then we'll do a Zoom from March 10th to the 12th. Come on down and see us. And if you can't, then go to a country, a city, a town where we're going to be around the world. All right, so here's the dates. If you want to take a look, you want to do a snapshot and figure out where you're going to catch us for that pain-free pelvic course. All right? And just know this, my son Sage Wolf, he travels all around the world doing personal certifications in clinics and homes. And he also does personal treatment and trainings for families and couples that want to learn our techniques and take their life back. You can call these numbers. The last thing I'm going to say is this. You know what? When you get tired of doing Band-Aid therapy and getting a little tip here and a little tip there, you might want to get yourself a Perfect Day consult. It'll cost you $225. You'll get this manual, okay, which is the most powerful health manual that's ever been written, and I will stand behind it. You'll get it in a PDF. If you want to buy the copy, you'll only pay for the printing of it. This has everything you need to do for everything that's going on in your life. This is to help you become your own practitioner. This is not a health book, okay? This is the Perfect Day lifestyle guide, and it will let you know what to do and how to do it, and I will stand behind it. It's taken me 40 years to write it, okay? So if you want to get a consult, go to docofdetox.com, click on consultations, and then pick the consultant that you want. You'll get 6 weeks of unlimited support. If you do not get the support that you need, you'll call me at 469-861-9454 or 855-900-4544 extension 5. You heard my phone ring twice? I'm going to be done here in a second. I'm going to answer these calls and call them back. Yes, Dr. Wolf will actually call you back. Dr. Wolf is an average, normal human being. Dr. Wolf knows that you matter and your questions matter. That's why we have 8 people on phones answering your questions. You don't have to get a consult. Just know that we care and we want to be there for you. But you're going to have to learn how to be there for yourself, Bravehearts. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because I am, I can, I'm healed. I'm Braveheart. Happy holidays, everyone. God bless. You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it. Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited. What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time. Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite. You were created by your Creator to create. So let's create something amazing together. So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the Whole Life Coach certification is all about. In the Whole Life Coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners or even so-called whole life coaches that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart and we're going to become the spark that you seek. Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in, because you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself. Braveheart. Let's take life in and win. I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you.